Hey guys, it's Lindsay. We are going to do our Divine Partners reading, our romance reading. As always, if any of these messages don't align for you, please take only what you need and leave the rest. This is a group reading, so you must be discerning. I am going to be using terms like feminine and masculine. It does not apply to gender. It just applies to who carries that energy at that time during the relationship. So that's up to you to judge if you are one or the other or both. Okay? Let's dig into divine partners and any specific messages. I'm getting angels are really important this time to excuse me, one of the partners calling in angels. Goodness, I don't have water with me. Calling in angels, speaking to angels. It's very important for the upliftment of one of the partners. I'm also getting one of the partners maybe going through some health issues, okay? So this is for people who are in partnership or who have recently been in partnership, okay? That one of them is going through health issues and the other or the partner going through those is calling in angels. They're calling in other support. And I'm hearing the name Andrew, Andy. That Andy can be either a boy's name or a girl's name. So man or woman. Let's see. Anything else? There's also something around baby's breath is important. That's coming through, very specific baby's breath. So that may be bouquets and flowers and things like that. I'm seeing baby's breath. Any specific messages, Spirit, for this divine partnership? There's something specifically around crying and allowing yourself to cry. You know, I feel like whatever has been happening has been extremely difficult for the partnership, and it feels like one partner is trying to be strong and the other partner is, you know, going through some things. So, and even if it's not related to health, if it's one partner going through difficulties in carrying the other partner, right? Emotionally, physically, ways like that. Spirit is coming in and saying it's okay to cry. Okay, it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to let them out. Don't feel like you have to hold and carry those emotions all the time. You know, if you need to go into a room by yourself and cry, it's okay to do that, you know. And it's something that it feels like it needs to be done, okay? Any other messages coming through for divine partnership? There's also something specifically around needing to seek assistance as far as emotional and mental assistance for one or both of the partners. This is kind of depressing. Let's go. Woo! But here's the thing. So, like therapy, okay? But here's the thing. In seeking the therapy, I feel like the load is going to be lightened quite a bit because less of that emotional weight is going to be held, and I do feel this lighter energy coming in because we really started heavy with that. But it's the requirement of seeking therapy, seeking help in whatever form that you are able to at this point where you can offload some of that emotional weight out of the partnership, right? Okay. And there are, it does feel like some constrictions around money for the partners at this time, but there is money coming in because you do have the Queen of Pentacles. So there is something coming in as far as just stabilizing it so you can seek the, you know, assistance that you need for your mental and emotional, and also for the partner who needs help, right? Whether that's with their health or not. There is this emphasis happening on outside assistance, where if you've been carrying this for a long time, now is the time to start seeking outside assistance, and outside assistance will be provided for you because you haven't been seeking it before. You've been kind of blocking it, right? So in the way that this is coming through is speaking to people around you and asking for, you know, references for if you like need therapy, if you need certain doctors or things like that. Really speaking to and using your network to find the appropriate people and people that you can trust with this type of information, okay? And it feels like that weight is being lifted off of the partnership, but it does again require you reaching out for help is what it sees. You really need to reach out for help and ask for that hand. And there's nothing shameful in asking for help. You know, you shouldn't have to carry all of this on your own, or, you know, work with your partner on your own. If there are hands out there that can help you, why would you not use them, right? And there's this other thing that's coming in specifically for the partner who has been carrying the emotional weight, is taking a day for yourself, taking a spa day, going in and getting, you know, if you get your nails done, or getting, you know, whatever, like going to a sauna and just taking a day for yourself. And again, I hear the money thing again. There are places where you can look at it. It'll be you know, just put in your GPS sauna or nail salon or whatever. There are places that don't charge as much as you think they charge, right? You just have to do a little research and find a place, right? And there are also places that will work with you, even if you want to take like a community yoga class or something like that. Those are like $5 or $10 yoga classes, right? Just to get yourself out of that energy that you're stuck in the partnership, that you and your partner kind of, it feels like a lot of outside forces and internal forces, if it's physical with the body, that you guys have been working with. It doesn't, in many ways, it feels like you guys are holding things up. But if you can find, it's not if you can find, it means you need to make time for yourself, okay? Where you can have a breather. You need to call on those helping hands. It's not if you can find anymore, it's you must. It's the way it's coming through, you know. It's like the dam is breaking, and if you don't make moves to assist yourself, you can no longer hold this up, okay? And that's what's coming through. And I see that there are people out there willing to help you, and there are resources out there, and there are places where you can get like a $5 yoga class or a very reasonable, you know, spa day. You know, it's research. If you're going to be on your phone anyways, just type in a couple buttons and see what's around you and what's available to you, or just send a text to your friends. The friends in the network are going to be extremely helpful for this relationship right now, is what I'm seeing, because a lot of them have seen what you've been going through and they want to assist, and they have information that will be helpful, but you need to ask the question, is the way it's coming through. You have to open and speak. I'm also being drawn specifically to like this hemming at the bottom, this kind of scalloped hemming. I need to just get a little more clarification on that, why I'm being drawn to that specifically. This card popped. Four of Swords is mental, so that's just reaffirming getting, you know, some mental emotional support. But again, I want to look at the scalloped hemming, and I'm also being drawn to the stars over here. Okay, there's something specifically around one of the partners, you know, not feeling their best, one or both, not feeling their best and not dressing or, you know, showing up in the way that they want physically, right? So it feels like one of the partners is someone who dresses up really nice, or like would normally dress up really nice and would really kind of be put together and enjoy kind of presenting themselves that way. And the emphasis that's coming through is even if you don't feel like doing it, every once in a while it might actually be good for the mental health, because we're talking about, this is why this card popped, the mental health. for the mental health to actually kind of like force yourself to get dressed up and put on, you know, if you put makeup on or just dress nicely or put some cologne or something, is going to kind of free you from that heavy and dense energy to put on a nice outfit. And it's not for anybody else, it's simply for yourself and feeling good about yourself, okay? And you have to kind of push yourself into that, you know. And I'm not saying every day, I'm saying, you know, like if you have a day where like, okay, I can do it today, you know, I have a little time, I can dress up, I can put on a nice outfit, I can go and take myself for excuse me, a little coffee or something. That's what it is. It's about those small moments of self-care and self-recognition that's really important right now, because when you take care of yourself physically, when you gift things to yourself, it's like recognizing that, you know, you are worthy of those gifts. And that's really what's being emphasized in this romantic partnership right now. And I also see there's like a tenuous string between the partners right now, probably because of all the weight of what has been coming on externally. And so it does feel like that connection is really like, I'm hearing thin, but I'm also hearing brittle. So that brittle is like dry, right? So I think the other thing that's coming in here, and when we're talking about, you know, taking a day to like dress up nicely and things like that, taking a day outside of all of this health, and or if it's not health, if there's a certain pressure that's happening on the relationship right now, planning a day and saying this is our like date, you know, this is our time to be together romantically and connect with each other on a level that is not struggle, right? So, and this is the focus point, connecting with each other on a level that is not the struggle, because I feel like the connection is still very much there, but because it's constantly connecting on the struggle aspect, that's where this kind of breakage is happening, okay? So if you can make a point to say, hey, we're gonna have a date today, or we're gonna go do something, and it can be something easy, you know, it doesn't have to be like something that you're spending all this money on. It could be something small that you do together, and like, you know, maybe get roses and order in food and put candles around and just have a nice little date in your house or something, you know. Or if you want to get out of the house, get a nice little meal together out of the house, or maybe get some fresh air, go on a walk together, just a short one, like whatever seems right for you. I'm hearing like short and sweet, so something short and sweet that could just like reignite that connection, not under struggle, okay? That's the emphasis. Anything else? We're gonna go back. Hang on. This is what happens if something catches my eye. We're talking about the king now in divine partnership. This is interesting too, because when I started the video, I noticed that my voice was like dropping very deep, and I typically will talk at like a medium pitch, and my voice is not very high anyways, but occasionally my voice will drop very low. And that's not anything I intentionally do, right? But for some reason, I started this video at a very low octave, right? And we're talking about the king, because the king came in, and I was shuffling the deck, and I'm like, no, we're being drawn to the king. And the king is the one who speaks clearly, and he has a very deep and low octave, and he's very grounded, but he's also very clear, okay? And so we have the King of Wands. And the interesting thing about the King of Wands, he is the King of Passion. So that's romance, passion, things like that. And it's interesting because if you look, he's throwing away fire, right? And so we're going to take a moment and we're just going to kind of focus on that. And I'm just going to see what that message is coming through. If you guys watched my previous video, I kind of explained how I channel. I will start to be drawn to different things, and then I kind of talk myself into the message, and that's how I channel. So sometimes it takes me a little bit to get to the message, but we do get to the message every time. So, but the throwing away the fire, It feels like one of the partners is throwing away the passion. And I feel like part of it is in order to survive. So this may be the partner who is having health problems or having issues, not the partner who is emotionally bearing right now, although they are emotionally bearing, but you know, it's different. It's different to be the partner that is having the issues, right? So the way that it's coming through with the King of Wands is he's the one who's normally the passion bearer, right? He's the one who holds the fire and things like that. But the fact that he is throwing away the fire says to me that he is putting aside his passion and romance and love in order to get through and survive, okay? And in some ways, it's very much heartbreaking, you know, because like you want to be able to share in your romance and your passion and your love in both like the emotional and the physical sense. I'm also hearing the physical sense. And this person feels like they really do want to share in that, but it's like in order to survive, they're throwing away that passion and romance. And I would argue the way that this is coming through is not throwing away the passion and romance, but holding it closer, right? Like making those moments even more romantic, even more passionate. And I'm not talking about like necessarily sexual. I'm talking about like romance, and I'm talking about connecting on a romantic level, and showing love to each other. So the partner who is doing this, who is throwing away the romance and the passion, the message that's coming through is bring that back, bring that energy back towards yourself, back into your relationship, because you're doing this to survive. But I think the way that it's coming through is that your survival is contingent upon bringing back your romance, right? Because that gives you something to live for, okay? That gives you something to work towards. It gives you something to want to wake up in the morning for, right? So instead of throwing it away in lieu of your suffering, keep it in front of you as a way to dispel your suffering, okay? And this is also, I think the reasoning behind it was like the load of the weight of the love, and like holding on to that love in some ways is very heartbreaking through difficulties. But again, what's not being seen is that this is what holds up the wall, right? So we were talking about the wall coming down because of all this struggle that you've been going through in your partnership. But what is holding up the wall is your love, ultimately, okay? And that's what is showing up in the King message, okay? See, I told you we would get the message. We're going to talk through it, okay? So that is our Divine Partners reading. If this was helpful to you, if it resonated at all, please like, comment, or subscribe. My name is Lindsey Rose. This is Storyteller Tarot. If you would like your own personal reading, you can check out all the links. Otherwise, I wish you guys well.